What did Bletchley Park know about the Holocaust, and did they intercept any messages from the concentration camps? The first thing to realise is a big limitation of Bletchley Park's work. They were only intercepting radio messages. If the information was relayed over telephone or telex, they would have no access to this information. Telephone is much more convenient when the lines are available, which occurs when the operation isn't moving, like a camp. During August 1941, 17 separate Enigma messages during 8 days detailed the number of Jews shot in Eastern Europe. These varied between 61 and 4,200. This prompted Churchill to include comments about it in his next speech. In it, he refers to the Jews as Russian patriots. He could not include the fact in the speech because the Germans would then know their codes were compromised. The full speech is 30 minutes. Here is the relevant minute.
The aggressor is surprised, startled, staggered. For the first time in his experience, mass murder has become unprofitable. He retaliates by the most frightful cruelty. As his armies advance, whole districts are being exterminated. Scores of thousands, literally scores of thousands, of executions in cold blood are being perpetrated by the German police troops upon the Russian patriots who defend their native soil. The Mongol invasions of Europe in the 16th century, there has never been methodical, merciless butchery on such a scale, or approaching such a scale. And this is but the beginning. Famine and pestilence have yet to follow in the bloody ruts of Hitler's tanks. We are in the presence of a crime without a name.
Despite Churchill being sparing with the facts, the Germans heard this speech and quickly made changes to Enigma. Fortunately for the British, the change they chose to make made it easier and not harder to crack the messages. In 1943, Bletchley Park intercepted a message talking about over 1 million deaths in 4 camps. With no mention of deaths, and the camps only identified by their initial letter, the significance of this message was not understood until after the war. Other messages about mundane topics were also intercepted. Did the British know about the concentration camps? Difficult for them not to, when Dachau opened in 1933, 6 years before the war started. Knowing about them is one thing, doing something is another. Despite the appalling loss of life in the camps, it's difficult to know what more could have been done. Both sides were fighting tooth and nail.